Fractions to decimals with number chips. This is a fun way for students to learn the process of converting a fraction into a decimal. So it's a scaffolded lesson, so it just starts with some early skills. They need to be able to convert some fractions into equivalent fractions with 100 in the denominator. So they need to know what they would multiply by each of these numbers in order to get that 100 in the denominator. 50, you're going to multiply by 2. So they just click and hold on the 2, click and hold, and they move it right into place. 25, of course, they'd have to multiply by 4. So if they struggle with this at all, they've got all of the answers they need. They just need to know where to put them on the slide. On the very next slide, now they're going to be converting fractions to equivalent fractions with 100 in the denominator. So the first one, they know that they have to multiply 50 times 2, so they also have to multiply 7 times 2, which would give them an equivalent fraction of 14 hundredths. And they're going to continue with the other 3. They also need to know place value. So if they struggle with this slide, they probably need a little remediation on place value. It just tells them where to place each of these 6 numbers. Place your 5 in the ones place. So they would take the 5, click and hold, put it here in the ones place. The 3 in the tenths place with a TH, and so on. So they should be able to place all 6 of those numbers in the correct place according to the decimal point. The next slide, they're going to be converting to a decimal. So if they have a fraction with 100 in the denominator, they just need to know with these purple arrows, it points to the number that it's going to be in the hundreds place. So here, the number on the far right in the numerator will be in the hundreds place. Okay, so to change 23 hundredths to a decimal, the 3 has to be in the hundreds place. That would place the 2 here in order, and then the other numbers would be zeros. And then when they get down to this one at the bottom, 120 hundredths, again, that 0, the number on the far right, will be in the hundreds place. And that way they can place the 1 and the 2 here. Moving on, now on this slide, they're going to have to convert their fraction. And this one they're going to have to simplify first because they can't just change 40 to 100. So if they simplify first, they divide the numerator and denominator by 2, they will get 7 20ths. Now they can convert it to a fraction with 100 in the denominator. Multiply by 5, that would give them 35 hundredths. And now they can go ahead and place that into the decimal. And then these 2 numbers will be zeros. So again, they have all the numbers they need. They just need to know how to place them correctly. Now, another method they're going to have to use, if they can't convert it to a fraction that they can change to get 100 in the denominator, then they're just going to have to use long division. So this is a long division problem. So the first thing it tells them to do is to simplify. They're going to change 2/16 to 1/8. And to change it to a decimal, they're going to have to divide 1 divided by 8. And it has all of the numbers they need. So they're just going to walk them through. If they have any trouble, again, they've got every number they need down here. And they just need to play with the numbers until they get the correct answer. They've got another slide with the same thing. And then they're just going to change these to fractions to decimals. So they have a few examples of just changing from fractions to decimals in the different methods. At the end, there's a decimals vocabulary, and then all of the completed slides are here for the teacher. You need to make a copy of the slide deck as a class copy, and then just make sure you eliminate all of the teacher slides before you give to the students.